Hey there, we're back. I am DJ Waldow, and I turn 50 on February 23rd. So, for the next 50 days leading up to my 50th birthday, I'm sharing one thing I've learned over the almost 50 years on this planet. Today's thing: everything is temporary. All right, thing number 5: everything is temporary. This is a really big one for me because I think a lot about emotions and I think about the power of emotions. As I always tell my kids, we can't change the emotion, but we can change how we respond to the emotion. So, the thing about emotions is when you're in it, whether it be happiness or sadness or anxiety or depression or excitement, any of these emotions you're in, they feel permanent. They feel like they're never going to end. And of course, this can be seen as a good thing, right? If you're happy or excited or all the adrenaline is rushing, that's a good thing in many ways because you don't want it to end. Although I'd argue you do want it to end eventually, because as they say in Inside Out, you can't have happiness without sadness. One of my favorite movies, side note. But the problem isn't the emotion, the problem is the story we tell ourselves about that emotion. Like sadness doesn't feel like it's temporary. Depression doesn't feel like it's going to go away at some point, nor does the pain. It feels like you're going to have it forever. So, one of the moments where it really clicked for me is after my last bout of depression. And I'll talk more about depression. If you follow me on social media, I talk about it here and there, but I'll talk more about it over these next couple weeks. But where it really hit me when I was depressed, I remember saying to myself, been here before. I know that this is temporary. Why? Because I'd been there 3 times before. I knew it was going to end. I don't mean end in a bad way, but I knew it was going to end. I knew that feeling was just a temporary feeling. That didn't mean that it didn't suck. It didn't mean that I wasn't living in that emotion and felt terrible, but I did know that eventually it was going to pass. I recognized the pattern. And this realization, this pattern recognition, didn't mean that the pain was going to go away faster, but it did remind me that the pain was going to go away. The depression, the sadness was going to go away. And that's really the key. I'll tell you one example of this that happened to me recently. As I'm approaching my 50th birthday, I had a colonoscopy. Yay me. So much fun. If you ever had it, you drink the liquid, blah, blah, blah. It's terrible. Again, knowing that that terrible feeling of drinking this liquid would eventually go away. But one thing happened to me that was so infuriating. I got a migraine. I don't get them often, but when I get a migraine, if you've ever had a migraine, oh, it's like you want your head to explode. But I couldn't take any aspirin or Advil or anything. Well, let me be clear. I didn't know if I could take it, but I didn't. The last thing I wanted to do is finish all this liquid and then realize afterward that because I took aspirin, I'd have to do it all over again. So I just didn't take aspirin. I get to the hospital. I get there early. They take me in early. I'm fired up. I'm like ready to go. And then I sit and wait and wait and wait. 2 hours after my scheduled appointment. Remember, I got there an hour early. So 3 hours I'm waiting. I feel like my head is going to explode. But the thing that got me through it is I knew it was temporary. I knew once I had this colonoscopy, once I got out, either the headache would be gone, the migraine be gone, or I could take some medicine to make it go away. So that got me through it. Again, it still sucked, but it got me through it. You're allowed to live in that moment. In fact, I would argue you should live in that moment. Whatever that emotion is, whether it's a good thing, happiness, or a potentially bad thing, sadness, or even as worse as depression. You should live in that emotion. You should feel what you're feeling. Just don't convince yourself that it's permanent. Don't discount the feeling. Just don't build a forever story around it. If you've ever heard of the phrase, this too shall pass, a friend of mine years ago, Chris Penn, once shared that with me. I had never heard it before. I was probably in my early 30s. This too shall pass. It's very cliche, but it's so very true. Whatever's happening now, you could sleep on it and you wake up the next day and it's past. So keep that in mind. Now, the one thing I'll share about this, I alluded to a little bit earlier, but the flip side is all the good things also are going to pass. So that happiness will pass. That buzz you feel, whether naturally or from some kind of drugs, those will pass. That feeling will eventually pass. So enjoy it. If it's happiness, enjoy it while you're in it, knowing that it'll be go away. So this is part of what makes humans human, and I love it. So reminder as I wrap this up, if you're feeling today or any day, or you come back to this podcast and listen, you're feeling really heavy in your heart, or you're feeling really happy, or something's happening in your life, a very strong emotion, just know that it's temporary. It will pass. I promise. All right, that's a wrap for today. Thing number 5, everything is temporary. Even this excitement and exuberance that I'm feeling right now, it's temporary. So please, if you like this episode, please share it, pass it along, like it. What do my kids say? Smash the subscribe, hit the like button, whatever, TikTok, Instagram, all the channels. Share 50things.co with a friend, a coworker, a family member. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Until tomorrow.